Crows aren't just ordinary birds, they're brainiacs with wings. At first glance, they may look like your average black-feathered scavenger. But behind those beady eyes lies a brain that's rewiring what we thought was possible in the animal kingdom. These birds don't just adapt. They plan, deceive, solve puzzles, and even understand concepts like cause and effect. But how can a bird with a brain the size of a walnut do what even some primates struggle to grasp? As you're about to see, crows are capable of cognitive feats that rival human toddlers. This is not just about intelligence, it's about survival. Every decision they make is calculated, tested, and optimized. They're not only reacting to the world, they're predicting it. And once you understand how, you'll never look at a crow the same way again. But their genius comes with a twist, one that scientists are still trying to fully understand. Let's start with something shocking. Crows can use tools. That's right, they craft their own sticks to dig out insects from crevices, showing not only problem solving, but foresight. While other birds rely on instinct, crows innovate in real time. In one experiment, a crow named Betty bent a wire into a hook to retrieve a bucket of food. No training, no hints. That level of improvisation is rare in the animal kingdom and practically unheard of in birds. But here's the kicker. They remember which tools work best and improve their designs. It's as if they're running their own engineering lab in the treetops. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear what else they do with their memory. Because these birds aren't just smart, they hold grudges. Crows can recognize human faces and they don't forget. In a study, researchers wearing masks captured crows, and years later, those same crows still attacked people wearing the same masks. That means they have long-term memory, linked with emotional tagging, something humans use in social survival. Imagine holding a grudge for a decade and warning your entire community about the threat. That's exactly what crows do. They pass this knowledge to other crows, who will also avoid or attack the same person, even if they were never captured themselves. So now we're not only talking about memory, but social intelligence and generational learning. And things only get more unsettling from here. Let's talk deception. In crow society, lying is a survival skill. If a crow notices another crow watching it hide food, it'll fake it. Pretend to bury the food in one spot, and then sneak it away to another. This kind of deception shows an understanding that others have thoughts and intentions, which is called theory of mind, a trait once believed to be exclusively human. Think about the level of awareness it takes to not only hide something, but to manipulate what someone else thinks you're doing. It's a mental chess game happening in real time. And these aren't rare behaviors, they're widespread across crow populations. Their entire survival strategy hinges on being one mental step ahead of everyone else. But their brains aren't just smart, they're efficient. Despite their small size, the crow brain is densely packed with neurons, especially in the forebrain where complex thinking happens. In fact, the neuron density in a crow's brain rivals that of some monkeys. They've evolved to concentrate their intelligence into a compact package that defies our expectations of size versus smarts. This efficiency allows them to solve complex problems quickly, making them incredibly adaptable in unpredictable environments. That adaptability isn't just useful, it's critical to their survival in human-dominated landscapes. And when cities become their playground, the results are mind-blowing. Crows have learned how to live with us, and in many cases, outsmart us. They can understand traffic patterns, dropping nuts on crosswalks, and waiting for cars to crack them open, then retrieving them safely when the light turns red. They observe our routines, adapt their foraging times, and even memorize garbage pickup schedules to scavenge efficiently. We think we're observing them, but they're studying us. They know who feeds them, who threatens them, and who to avoid. And when push comes to shove, they coordinate. Because crows are not just smart as individuals, they're tactical in groups. Crow societies are complex and cooperative. They warn each other of danger, vote on roosting spots, and even hold what appear to be funerals for dead crows. These gatherings aren't just emotional, they're educational. Crows use the opportunity to study what caused the death and learn to avoid similar threats. It's a kind of community-level data sharing that few species demonstrate. But here's where things get even more intense. Crows sometimes seek revenge. If a predator or human is responsible for one of their own, they've been known to attack in coordinated waves. Think of it as organized retaliation. They even teach their young not just how to survive, but how to think. Juvenile crows observe their parents and peers, learning through demonstration, trial, and feedback. Their development mimics that of a human child, slow, deliberate, and heavily social. While most birds are born with instinctive behaviors, crows need time to learn their world. That delayed maturity allows them to soak in more information and build more complex skills. It's a cognitive investment that pays off in the long run. And the more we study them, the more we realize how deliberate this process is. Now let's get philosophical. Do crows understand death? Many researchers believe that crows hold something akin to a vigil when one of their own dies. They gather, call out, and study the body and its surroundings. This isn't grief in the human sense, but it's definitely not random. They're learning from loss. And the decision to gather and analyze suggests some level of abstract reasoning. Could this be a glimpse into animal consciousness? It's a chilling yet fascinating question, and one we're still trying to answer. They also understand fairness. In experiments where crows received unequal rewards, they showed frustration and refused to participate. This reaction is incredibly rare in the animal kingdom and shows a clear sense of expectation. They know when they're being treated unfairly. They also remember kindness. Some crows even bring small gifts to humans who feed them regularly. That emotional memory reinforces bonds and builds trust, making their social interactions more layered and dynamic. The emotional intelligence of crows is not only real, it's measurable. We also can't ignore their communication skills. Crows have a vast range of vocalizations, each with different meanings. Some calls are warnings, some are invitations, and others seem to carry specific situational messages. But what's even more intriguing is that their calls change depending on who they're communicating with. That's a form of vocal modulation similar to how humans speak differently depending on the audience. It's not just noise, it's coded information. And in crow society, the ability to communicate well can mean the difference between life and death. Let's dig deeper into tool use. Some crows have been observed using sticks to fish for larvae, while others drop hard-to-crack food onto rocks from high altitudes. These aren't one-time behaviors. They're repeated and taught to others. In certain regions, crows have even been seen shaping leaves into hooks. It's a cultural transmission of innovation. Just like humans pass down skills through generations, so do crows. It's not instinct, it's instruction. It's that distinction is what makes them so unique in the bird world. Their ability to plan for the future is just as shocking. In lab tests, crows were able to select tools they would need later, even if they couldn't use them right away. That kind of delayed gratification and future thinking is extremely rare in animals. It means they're not just reacting, they're envisioning. They weigh options, anticipate outcomes, and make calculated choices. This type of executive function is part of what separates higher-order thinkers from reflex-based survivalists. And the fact that crows possess it is astonishing. But there's one behavior that truly flips the script. Crows can play. Yes, they slide down snowy roofs, play catch with twigs midair, and even play tricks on each other. Play is a sign of intelligence because it requires imagination, flexibility, and social bonding. Animals that play are exploring their limits and testing possibilities. For crows, play isn't just for finesse mental training. They're sharpening skills that will keep them alive in a dangerous world. It makes their intelligence all the more relatable. You might be wondering what makes crow intelligence evolve to such levels. The answer lies in their ecological challenges. Living in varied and often hostile environments forces them to adapt constantly. Unlike birds in stable niches, crows thrive on unpredictability. Their intelligence is their weapon against chaos. They're problem solvers by necessity, not luxury. And in that evolutionary pressure cooker, their minds have become razor sharp. Another overlooked trait is their emotional control. Extros, crows have shown remarkable restraint and decision-making under pressure. While many animals panic, crows pause and reassess. This level of emotional regulation means they can focus even when the stakes are high. It's like they have an internal dialogue telling them to wait, think, and then act. That inner control boosts their survival rate in volatile situations. And it's something we often associate with highly evolved species. They also navigate complex relationships, forming alliances and rivalries within their social groups. Like humans, they can recognize the relationships between others and use that information to their advantage. That means their social intelligence includes awareness of hierarchy, loyalty, and betrayal. This internal politics allows them to rise in their group or avoid conflict. It's not just about being smart, it's about being strategic. And few birds play the social game better than crows. In fact, the more we study crows, the more we see reflections of ourselves. Problem solving, cooperation, vengeance, humor, planning, and even mourning. These are all behaviors we associate with advanced intelligence. Crows don't just survive, they strategize. They don't just react, they analyze. And in the game of life, they're playing on a level most animals can't even see. Which brings us back to the original question, what makes them the smartest birds on Earth? The answer lies in their endless ability to adapt, their fearless curiosity, and their uncanny talent for understanding the world around them. They're not just birds, they're thinkers. They might be watching you right now. It's testing your patterns and deciding whether to trust you or warn others. So next time you see a crow, remember, you're not just looking at wildlife, you're looking at a genius in feathers.